Well, hello everybody. Welcome again. Here we are at Frequency 140 Movies, and now again we've been doing the top three, right? The big three of horror films, and putting them in a tier type category as far as like worst to best, that type thing. I've gone over Halloween franchise. I've gone over Friday the 13th franchise. Now we're in the home stretch on this one. Now it is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, this right here, I did not get a chance to see it in theaters. The first time I saw this was actually late night on an HBO because back in the day, my mom and dad, we didn't necessarily subscribe, but we got like the free 2 week thing or the 1 week thing before I actually bought it. But anyway, I got to see this at 85 late night with my older sister, Katrina. Shout out to Katrina. What up? What up? But definitely saw this for the first time, not knowing what I was watching. And it blew me away. It scared the crap out of me, but it gave me a whole new understanding and appreciation for fear as far as like, there really is no safe place, whether you're awake, or asleep. It didn't matter at that point. This was a whole nother turn on this. So, all right. So what we're gonna do, we'll go ahead and get this thing started. Now, what I want to do is give you my categories for today. Okay. So what I have right here is best to worst. Now, we kind of try to theme these things, go in the direction in which the film we're talking about. So, with that being said, Freddy Krueger, definitely a crispy individual, a crispy for sure. Unfortunately, not anything derogatory towards burn victims, but Freddy Krueger has set the bar for what a cool burn victim is supposed to be. But either way, going with that, I'm going to say that my categories are well done. Okay, that's the best. Medium well, second best. Medium, right there. Medium rare, and then rare. Ooh, ooh. Either way, that's where I'm going with the day. Again, I apologize, but at the same time, we're all here just having fun. So thank y'all for joining us. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. So here we go. The original, all right? This is 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven. So we've got Nancy Thompson, introduced to Nancy and her friends. I remember the first kill, I believe, is Christina. That shocked me completely because that's one of the first. Actually, the first sequence you see is a dream sequence with Christina, and she actually gets to meet Freddy Krueger for the first time and seeing the glove and the face and the whole thing, and then the fact where the dream sequence where he's got his arms stretched out real long. I mean, that just all stuck with me, right? This Fred Krueger character definitely had something to offer to the horror genre, and I was paying attention. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, the original, the one, the only, the one that started all. Man, it is so well done. That's right. So there we go, top notch. Moving right along in the franchise, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. I like this for a lot of different things other than just being a horror movie. Definitely it captured the time, the mid 80s, and what was going on with the style and the music and everything that was happening. But more so than that, they were, without even saying it, they were kind of going into areas and discussion that a lot of films weren't doing at the time, and that was homosexuality. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you've never seen Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, it is a pseudo type homosexual erotic movie. If you want to leave it in the comments, we can discuss it. That's fine. Watch the movie and tell me it's not. Okay, I'm just saying. Great film. Didn't take anything. That doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I thought it was a great way of carrying on the story because I really think at this time they really didn't know what to do with the story because they didn't think that the part one would be that big of a success. So they were trying to figure out where to go and what to go with it. And I like the fact that if you watch the movie, it's pretty streamlined. It's what it is. It's a continuation. It's a kid who's obviously having nightmares, living in the house from the original movie. Nightmares continue. Freddy comes in, but then you kind of get the first time he's into the real world, really, at the pool party. These type of things that are going on. But again, significant part of the franchise. So I'm gonna say Freddy's Revenge Part 2. I'm gonna go ahead and put that. You know what? It's medium well. It's not the best, but it did what it was supposed to do, and I appreciated that because it carried on the character and the lineage and everything going forward. And plus, we had the dogs that had the faces of the kids. That's always a plus. Part 3. Now here we go. Getting into the upper echelon, if you will, at least in my book. Part 3. Dream Warriors, the end all be all in the franchise, in my opinion. Not only did you have Dawkins with the video for Dream Warriors that had Freddy Krueger on MTV, but what a great movie. You had a team now. It's almost like I don't know if you're into the teams like, the X Men, the Teen Titans, the Avengers. Like you had a team of Dream Warriors and they all had their own special dream powers. I think it was a really great movie and how they laid that out. They brought Nancy back, and then we also got the backstory of Freddy Krueger, right? He's the bastard son of 1,000 thousand maniacs, right? We found out that his mother, Amanda Kruger, was locked in a insane asylum over Christmas holidays, unfortunately taken advantage of by thousands upon thousands of individuals in the insane asylum, and our product was Freddy Krueger. So a lot of backstory here, keeping with the lineage with Nancy, which is awesome. Adding new characters. I love the kills with Welcome to Primetime. Bitch. You have the puppet master where he cuts the strings, right? You have Joey who can't speak, but yet the nurse uses her tongues to tie him down. I mean, this is great stuff. The drug addict who he takes the Freddy, instead of having blades, he has needles, and let's get high. That's great. I mean, just anyway, go on and on about this film, but part three, Dream Warriors, right there. Well done, and the top tier. So here we go. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. The Dream Master devices, because what we got from the third movie, we got some really cool characters. Going into the fourth movie, it seems like it kind of got cut short. Some of those characters were done away with pretty quickly, and that was it. So you got a whole new cast, a whole new story, things going on. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I enjoyed the film. I did. I just think, I'll just say this to me personally, coming off, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, that's a pretty high bar. I don't think they personally met it again. That's just me. So with Part 4, a great movie. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right there with medium well. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I'm gonna put it right there medium well. All right, so here we go. We're moving right along. Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child. This is Nightmare Part 5. Not the best movie. Kind of going into really kind of looking into Freddy becoming more of a comedic aspect of the film rather than horror, which is okay. He's becoming an icon. He's bigger than the character himself, bigger than the film franchise himself. He's kind of becoming, more notoriety. So they're trying to make him more accessible, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Maybe a lull after going from 3 to 4, and then kind of just trying to keep the franchise alive, but really not really much to choose from or pull from right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put number 4 right here. I'm sorry guys, I am. I'm gonna put that right there. Just not really much anything to that for me. This one is coming up. We're talking about Friday's Dead. This is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 6. Now, this one right here, very cool for me. A lot of people don't necessarily like it. I think it's cool because you get a backstory here. You actually get to see the backstory of the Springwood Slasher, or I believe that's what he was known as before he was Freddy Krueger. But you actually get to see the story of him back in the day as a human, and unfortunately, unaliving these kids. I did that right. Yes, unaliving these kids. But what I liked about this montage is you got the variations of the gloves. You got to see different types of gloves. You had short, short knives, and you had short claws. You had the long knives. It was just, it was really cool to see that aspect of the story and just the backstory of it. Granted, yes, he's totally going for the comedic stuff here. Even though they're doing the backstory, Freddy is trying to be haha, witty, all that good stuff, So I think that worked against it. I think if we could have kind of stuck to giving us like an origin story, kind of keeping it as gritty as we could. But the times just didn't call for that. They wanted Freddy to be more humorous and more in the zeitgeist type of stuff, like in the know, like Freddy was smarter than what he appeared to be in that type thing. That just went too far for me. So sorry, but I am gonna say I like the backstory, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put this at medium. This is medium. Yeah, it's medium. I know. I'm sitting here, Ben's going, what's going on with this? What are you talking about? Because again, if they had cut down on the comedic aspects, I'd have been in there with medium well done. No problem. But that just, yeah. That was get me there. All right, everybody, we're moving right along. We're coming to Nightmare on Elm Street Part 7, if you will, I guess. Is that what it is? But it's a new nightmare. That means that it's entirely new, and which it is, because it wasn't an actual continuation of the franchise per se, but it was a continuation of the story that Wes Craven created. Because what you've got is a movie within a movie. You follow me on that one? Basically, what you got is you got Wes Craven, who actually portrays himself, right? So he portrays himself in this movie. You've got the actress who portrays Nancy, and her name is Heather Langenkamp. She's portraying herself, but actually still has a tie to the character of Nancy. Robert Englund is portraying himself, but also has a tie to the character of Freddy in the movies. This for me was one of those movies I really enjoyed because you have to watch. You have to pay attention to this movie. If you don't, you will get lost as to what's going on. Is this real? Is this not real? And I appreciate the way in which they filmed that because that's exactly how it should be. You don't know what is real and what is not real. And I think that's a brilliant way of making this film. I don't think you could have done it any other way. I think the design for Freddy was awesome. The fact that glove now was actually physically a part of the hand and had the bomb. I mean, just the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put New Nightmare, man. It's up there. It's well done. It's well done, dude. It's it. All right. So now I had this on my last one, and obviously, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get this out of the way. I'm gonna say I've said what I said last time. Now, again, I like the fact that kind of saw both characters in their atmosphere and their strengths and their weaknesses, and then I believe I enjoyed the ending for what it was. But Freddy versus Jason, we talked about this before, 2003, right there. It's gonna be medium well, just right there, going with it. All right, so now this is where things get dicey. I'm going to go ahead and put this where I want to put it, and then we'll discuss it. All right, so you ready? So here we go. We're going medium well. Look at that. Wow. Wow, I can see the eyes. What? Here's why. I definitely I think it was a crappy way of writing the story. I don't like, even though it's insinuated that Freddy Krueger was a child diddler, I don't like having it confirmed. That's just something like you don't want to know that, you don't want to know that Santa Claus is your dad type thing. You know it's there. It's the aspects are there, but I don't want it confirmed. Anyway, that's number one for me. Number two, granted, I don't like the CGI. I'm going through the bad things here. I'm going through the bad things so I can get to the good things. I don't like the CGI. I'm much more of a fan of practical effects, especially when it comes to something like a burn victim. I think you can get more out of it by using actual practical effects on it, which they did, obviously. Especially if you look at the original Nightmare on Elm Street as opposed to how it evolved. The original was gnarly, gnarly, gnarly. Honestly, I think those were the two biggest ones for me because here's where I do what I do like. I love Jackie O'Reilly. I loved his portrayal. I think they did him wrong with the CGI, but I think that his portrayal was awesome. I loved his demeanor, even as a human form of Freddy. He was creepy, man. He had that standoffish thing that he does. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I enjoyed the fact that yes, we stayed with the old thing was yeah, okay, so this guy did something wrong to our kids. He was not convicted of it, let loose. We hunted him down. We killed him. That's just a primal thing of the whole story in itself. So I'm glad they kept that in there. The color scheme, I mean, everything. Again, everybody kind of gives this thing, a bunch of crap, and I can understand why. Not for me. I enjoyed it. I just enjoyed it. I just did not enjoy the whole aspect of kind of like pulling back the curtain, going, yeah, he was this. But then again, even before that, we had the did he or didn't he. I didn't like that either. Like, if he is, just go ahead and say it. And let's get that out of the way because I don't want that. But we didn't get that. We got him going through, well, did he or didn't he or didn't he? And no, 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 no. Just do what we're going to do. Stick to that. And again, practical effects. Other than that, I love the film. I'm a fan of it. So you guys can hate on me and give me all the stuff you want to do. Ben's over here giving me the thumbs down and the stink face. That's fine. That's okay. It's all right. I still love him. But yeah, that's where we stand. This is our tier for or my tier for a Nightmare on Elm Street horror franchise. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, listening, and taking the time to be a part of my world for a moment. Again, as always, like, subscribe, right? Hit that notification bell, everything you can, right? Because we need it. I mean, we can't do without you. So, that being said, geeks, freaks, and nerds unite. Let's scare the world.